cool version of this movie to show anybody, I just have this disc, and I've had this disc forever. This is Colonel Kill MFers. I don't know what we can get away with on YouTube now, but it was from Hack Movies, which that website no longer exists. But this and a whole series of movies was directed by a guy named Kevin Strange, who I consider a friend of mine. Haven't spoke to him in a long time, but back in the day when I first started doing reviews, he was nice enough to send me his whole basically catalog he had out at the time to review. And all his movies were his homemade movies. It was home done. Everything was DIY. And he burned these movies. These are DVD-Rs. And this has been around. I've had this since like 2009, so I've took good care of them because I'm a fan of these movies. If you like shot on video stuff, you're going to love this. It's basically a series of shot on video stuff. I've described it before as his movies are basically Kevin Smith meets Trauma, and more on that in a minute. But I think it's a shame that Kevin never really, I don't think he ever really got the recognition he deserved as far as like independent, no budget filmmakers went. Um, you can tell when you watch his movies that his movies were inspired by like Trauma and like Chris Seaver. And then I think if you watch his movies and then you watch my movies, you can tell I was inspired by Kevin Strange. So it went like Chris Seaver, Kevin Strange, and then me as far as influence goes. And of course, all the other influences that come along with it. And while everybody loves talking about shot on video horror movies of the 80s and the 90s, I feel like the early 2000 digital video movies, which took the place of the shot on video movies because everybody had digital cameras in, or they had like the cameras that recorded the disc. I feel like those type of movies kind of got lost in the fold, and I think Kevin Strange's movies kind of got lost in the fold. I don't know. I think at one point I'd heard maybe they were streaming on Troma Now. I don't know if they still are, but the fact that like SRS or Wild Eye or somebody never really picked any of these up and put them out really, really seems like a shame and a waste. And I wish there was a way for more people to watch these type of movies. And before I even get to the review for this, I will say I did a little research, and I don't think most of Kevin's websites I think don't work now. He did do comics. He was doing like fiction books, and I'm sure they were great and they were good. But I feel like the man really was great for this stuff, and I wish he'd have kept doing this stuff. And I wish that it would have got picked up and put out by somebody more wide, which I think he might, as of last year, was still putting out DVDs of this stuff. So maybe find Kevin Strange on social media and see what he's got. Or if you're a distributor, maybe, when you want to make the man a good deal, maybe holler at him, because I feel like more collectors of this type of movies need to see these type of movies. So Colonel Kill here, basically you got a guy that was discharged from the army for being, basically crazy. And he's he's still being crazy, and he has a run in with basically some role playing people. That is our main cast of this movie. At a liquor store, stuff happens. His mom, who is inspired by pink flamingos, tells him to go kill him. So when he goes to kill him, he ends up killed, but he gets resurrected, and he comes back, slashing his way through these role players. It's very dialogue heavy. It's not that long of a movie. It's like 70 minutes long, and the dialogue is hilarious. Like I said, very Kevin Smith like, maybe even a little bit Tarantino like in spots. And it's like not just mindless video horror, it's stuff that actually had a lot of thought into it. And I think it deserves a lot more credit than it ended up ever getting. And while it did have a cult following, obviously, I kind of think that it deserved a little more recognition than it got, because I went and looked on Letterboxd when I logged this yesterday after I rewatched it, and I just don't think enough people have seen this. Is this like, is this a groundbreaking horror film? No. Is it a 5 out of 5 horror film? No. But it definitely is above a lot of the stuff that everybody praises that came out years before it. Like, I'll take this over Blood Cult. I'll take this over Wood Chipper Massacre. I'll take this over Dead Body Man. So, if you've not seen this, which this is probably one of my personal favorites that he did. He's done several. We'll talk about him here in a second. But this one here, though, it's a slasher flick. It's simple made, but there is gore, the cheap gore. It just stands out, I think, for all the right things. And it's hilarious, which also helps. Like I said, if you like Chris Seaver movies, you should definitely have seen Kevin Strange movies. So I give this one a 3 out of 5. Colonel Kill, MFers. Don't know where you can get it now, but if you can get it, get it. And while you're at it, track down all these other Kevin Strange movies. There's also there's like 2 or 3 commentaries and some special features on this too. So this was a disc that had a lot of stuff put into it. Deserves a pressed version, basically. The only pressed movie, well, we'll get that in a second, but like, He did Dream Reaper, which I think was his first movie. It was about a guy killing people in dreams, obviously. Nixon and Hogan Smoke Christmas. Nixon and Hogan was basically his Jay and Silent Bob of this universe. Dead Shit, which is, I believe, a prequel to the actual movie that he did put out that got a wide release, and that was well, hold on, well, maybe it was Stiff Chops. Okay, Dead Shit was like the zombie movie with Nixon and Hogan. Stiff Chops has two people, like two mob guys, two henchmen, that end up leading into a prequel for the one movie that he did get press of wide release, Cockhammer, back in the day. This was a Tempe release. I don't think he got the best deal out of Tempe. We did a podcast with him, if you can find it on the internet, years ago, and he talks about it. But this was the actual one press disc that he actually got distributed for, and it got pressed up, professionally. This thing here is out of print, way out of print, and at one time was going for stupid amount of money on the internet. Which, like I said, I only had those, even though I sent them, so I didn't complain when I didn't get cases and covers. I was just happy that I got them. But if you like stuff that I normally like, then I suggest you at least get this, then get Cockhammer and get Stiff Jobs and Dead Shit. Those are like the ones you definitely want to see. The rest of them I think are good too. I feel like the ones I mentioned are the best. This one's probably I believe I like this one better than Cockhammer. It's been a while. I need to rewatch Cockhammer. Cockhammer definitely has more put into it. But yeah, give this stuff a try if you can find it. Look up Kevin Strange. Look eBay. Look anywhere you can to try to get these movies, because if you like no budget horror, they're definitely worth checking out.